right, welcome everybody. We'll call our meeting to order and we'll start as we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is approval of the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes from October 20th.
Move that we approve the meeting minutes from October 20th.
Second.
Any discussion? Suggested revisions? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, that motion carries. We have no appointments, but I did make a note to ask you, Jen, for Peggy and I's benefit, are you going to, because we will have on our appointed boards and commissions a number of terms that are expiring January 1st. Are you going to prepare the list for us in the past of whose terms are up so we can start reaching out to them? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is to present a proclamation to the folks at Beeman Hardware to belatedly help them celebrate their 90th anniversary of business in our town. So who's going to come up and I'm going to read the proclamation then. Whoever you want to come up. Let me read it first and then you can come on up. No introduction. I'm just going to read the proclamation because I don't think I could say it better in my own words. And the proclamation reads, "The town of Granby proudly recognizes Beeman Hardware for 90 years of dedicated service to our community. Since 1934, Beeman has provided quality products, dependable service, and has been a trusted resource for generations of residents, representing the best of local tradition and service. Beeman has been an integral part of Granby's local economy and has embodied the spirit of small business, community commitment, and hometown values. The dedicated staff and ownership have consistently gone above and beyond to meet the needs of their customers with knowledge, kindness, and integrity. The 90th anniversary of Beeman Hardware is a milestone that reflects both on the hard work of its founders and successors and the loyal support of the Granby community. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement and best wishes for the future." You can say whatever you want. How do you want to do it, Shep? Let's do it where we get more of it.
We have a very special.
Oh,
There you go.
It's neat.
you should.
No photo bomb. Better you than me.
Who wants to talk? Are you sure? You can both. Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Go to the microphone so they can hear you.
Okay.
It's a sugar hunt.
Firstly, thank you. This is a great honor, and I know I'm the new face for Beeman Hardware, but it all came first with the Beeman Hardware family, and I couldn't do it without my Beeman Hardware team. They're the whole backbone of the whole operation, so I'm just really thankful.
I'm the old face then, if you Diane and I are the old face. And we've got, as you already saw, the older faces, and the older faces before that are on display at the store as well. And it's been a privilege, and he's absolutely right. If we look around this room, we see employees from many years ago. And absolutely. So, thank you.
I really do try to do all of my hardware shopping there, even though it's twice as far to go as the closest one to me up in North Granby. And you guys really do a great job. Everybody is so nice and so friendly. And I'm one of the old school guys that doesn't want help, but you guys go out of your way to find a comfortable way to make sure I get the help, so I'm not wandering around.
And we will always continue to do so.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right. You don't have to stay for the rest of the agenda, but you're welcome. The next item is to receive a presentation from Martha Delaney on the DOGS report, Dog Owners of Granby Getting Social. Come on up, Martha.
My name is Martha Delaney. I'm here representing DOGS, which stands for Dog Owners of Granby Getting Social. We were the group that I actually had the privilege of being in front of the Board of Selectmen over 20 plus years ago to propose the idea of establishing an off-leash dog park here in the town of Granby. Kelly was actually one of the group that helped us do it. And the one stipulation the board had, they were very forward-thinking and said, yeah, let's go for it. But we had to come up with the money to fundraise it and to maintain it throughout the years. And I'm proud to say that next year will be the 20th year that the dog park has been in existence here in Granby. It's a great example of what a dog park should be. I've helped out several other towns in the Farmington Valley area to establish their dog park, but the Granby's was the first, before Simsbury's. And we've been maintaining it through having fundraisers. We started off first with one big event that was only held once a year, but over the years we've discovered that having these canine swims, which is in the enclosed-in area of the Salmon Brook Park, the pond area, is the best money-making for us. And we try to have, in years past, we've had as many as 8. This year, we only had 5. And I've never really done the report before, but because of Mr. Walsh being new in town and Sandy Yost being the new person taking over the Park and Recs department, I decided I wanted to write something to let them realize how important these fundraisers are, because we make over $9,000 this year for the maintenance of the dog park. And it's no money that then gets taken out of the budget for the town to fund the dog park or to maintain it. We use that money to put new material down, the surfacing of the dog park once or twice a year. We use it to repair the fence. We use it to buy a year's supply of poop bags. We use it to buy new signage and any other things that might come up that's necessary. And I just wanted to make them realize that people love these events. It encourages people from all over, not just the Farmington Valley. We have people coming from Bristol and Torrington and Rocky Hill and Weathersfield to come to these events because dog lovers are crazy. We love our dogs, and I think that's why we were very successful in establishing this dog park over 20 years ago and to keep it running successfully even to this year. I think you've all got a copy of this. I didn't really want to take the time to read it to you all, since I know you've all probably done that on your own. I just wanted to give you a little background about how I think the fundraisers are important, and hopefully we can continue to have them, and maybe even go back to have one in the springtime like we used to have, and continue to have them into the fall and months. So I didn't know if anyone had any questions or...
Well, stay right there. We'll start down at this end.
No, thank you for your efforts for all the dogs. I don't have any questions.
I am not a dog owner, but I do walk around the new path in the park, and I love walking by the dog park and seeing all those happy dogs. They're like happy little kids running around and barking at each other. It's a great addition to the park. Thank you.
I also want to thank you for your efforts on behalf of the town of Granby and the dog park. My daughter Shannon from Windsor Locks brings her two dogs, Gracie and Bella. Gracie is a 90-pound bull mastiff and just loves the swims. So keep it up, and if anybody has an opportunity, go down there one of those Sundays where the swims are. The dogs are comical, absolutely comical.
And knock on wood, we haven't had any incidences, no problems. I mean, this year, there were a total, this is through all the events we had, there were close to 800 dogs. So a lot of people come and enjoy it, and we keep it reasonably priced, but it's a good way of making money for the town and for us supporting and maintaining the dog park.
Yeah, ditto for me. Thank you for doing the report, by the way, because I only kind of vaguely knew what you guys did. I didn't really understand the depth of how hard you work, and it's another great example of how we get things done.
And I'd also like to thank the Public Works Department and the Park and Recs Department, because they're very helpful with us too in terms of helping to maintain things. And Stuart and Chris and Rich and all those guys, we try to pay them back by buying them some pizzas for their lunch.
Did they get the latch fixed for you?
That hasn't happened, but hopefully the Park and Rec, because that was even broken for the swim use for the town people, for the pond. So hopefully it'll get done before next year.
All right, anything we could do better on our side?
Let us have one in the springtime before, but because, I don't know, people are always saying to me, why don't you do this every weekend? I said, well, you have to tell the town, you know.
Right.
But I'm very helpful that you all allow us to do it. It's a great opportunity. It brings a lot of people together, like the dog park has, and it's been a great thing that I've loved doing.
Thank you very much. We don't go anywhere yet. We only got halfway around.
No, I was just going to say thank you for continuing. I mean, 20 years is a long time to keep on everybody and make sure that all the fundraising is going on. So thank you for your dedication. I know it's a lot of time and a lot of energy, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Charlotte really enjoys the dog park.
Ladies, you got anything?
Just say thank you for your work and dedication. I didn't know what it was until you came and talked about it. It's very good.
Well, it's just not me. I mean, the original people who were on the committee maybe no longer come to it, but there's new people that come and get involved and are as dedicated as I am about doing it. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. All right, the next item on our agenda is to receive a report from our Civic Plus website, on the Civic Plus website. Mike, are you going to?
Mr. Chairman, this is an annual report, thanks to Betsy Mazzata and Catherine Lanyon. It just talks about total users of the Civic Plus website, 117,155. Those are unique identifiers. When people go onto the site, they average just under 3 minutes. 383,564 pages were visited, with the top pages being the library, the tax office, the assessor, and the GIS maps. And total pages downloaded for recycling schedules, zoning regulations, and transfer station fees were the top searches, 158,415. So as we attempt to deliver information to the residents, Civic Plus has been a valuable partner.
Thank you, Mike. I will say this is one of those areas where we have made a lot of progress over the last 4 years. It's an investment, I think, that's paid off quite a bit, but I always take this opportunity to tell the public that's listening or watching or may listen or watch later, if you have not signed up for notifications of the town, please do so. You go on the website, it takes 1 minute, you click on subscribe, because we are spending a tremendous amount of resources using that system to push information out to the public. So if you're not on it, you're missing a lot of stuff that's easy to get your hands on. Anybody else?
Do they track web versus mobile?
I do not believe we do.
No.
No.
Mobile's a little trickier, but I think it is for all websites. The format's a little differently every phone. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll move on to the next item of business, which is the Holcomb Farm United Methodist. What?
Mark Newman.
Hello, America, Granby America 250.
Oh, I'm looking at an older version of the agenda, I'm sorry.
Granby America 250.
Okay, so Mark, you're up on a report.
Thank you very much. I'm Mark Newman, and speaking right now as chairman for the Granby America 250 Committee. We are meeting monthly. Our upcoming meeting is Thursday of this week at 6:15, if you want to join us. We are working on both educational activities to promote the 250th anniversary of the signing. We're also looking at cultural activities we could host. We're looking at a picnic and bonfire on the 4th of July weekend. We are attempting to get a Revolutionary War reenactment unit. There's some difficulties on the timing on that. Believe it or not, the units are already booked up through the entire half of the year, next half of the year. More to come on that. We're trying to get something, but nonetheless, we plan on having a bonfire and picnic on the 4th of July weekend, and a parade also is in our works.
Great work.
Also, if I could bring up, we are not getting any town funds for this activity. So what we are as a committee are requesting donations. And I'd like to recognize the American Legion Shannon Shattuck Post 182 for making a donation to the committee already.
Is that something we need to push out through our notification system? Is there
We could.
opportunity for people to donate? Anything else, Mark?
Thank you, no.
Thank you. Sorry about that. All right, so now we are on the Holcomb Farm United Methodist Church construction plan and approval. Chief Oates. Do you want to introduce it at all, Mike, or do you want?
Just for those who are watching, before Mr. Oates speaks, back on May 19th, the Friends of Holcomb Farm presented their business plan for the reuse of 87 Simsbury Road, formerly the United Methodist Church. In June, the Board of Selectmen approved that plan, and the lease between the town of Granby and the Friends of Holcomb Farm was amended to include 87 Simsbury Road. John Oates has chaired a renovation construction subcommittee of the Friends Board. He'll be here tonight to speak to what needs to be done. A construction firm has been selected, contract ready, and the work will start without delay, provided a vote to accept this plan is taken tonight by the board in order to move this project forward. And a proposed motion is put in front of the board, and you'll be asked to consider that after the presentation.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mark. As was noted, my name is John Oates. I'm a resident of Friends of Holcomb Farm, board member, and the chair of the committee that was chartered to shepherd the renovation of 87 Simsbury Road from the United Methodist Church to a workable facility for farm operations. In your packet was a briefing document, and I'm not going to go over every bit of it, but I would like to hit some of the high points. And basically the reason that we are here is in the revised lease and use agreement between the town of Granby and the Friends of Holcomb Farm, it included a caveat that before we do any modifications or renovations that are permanent in nature, we have to come before the board to provide information and a framework of what we're going to do. I don't think I need to say it, but I will, that this is a generational opportunity to do something that doesn't come up very often. So we have the opportunity to repatriate property back into the farm, take what is currently and has been for the past 4 years and unfortunately vacant structure, and repurpose it for vegetable processing for the farm operations. Enhance community-supported agriculture distribution and farm store operations by repurposing essentially the middle of the building for vegetable distribution and farm store operations. The ability to create space for the farm workers to both start and end their day inside, not in a lean-to, not in a shelter, not outside in the elements. And then the ability to repatriate certain parts of the acreage into actual farmland the way it was back in the early 70s prior to Tudor and Laurel Holcomb providing the gift to the United Methodist Church to build their building. As I mentioned in the lease and use agreement, it provides for certain things that must occur, and one of which that as we come before you with this request is it has to be in writing, which was sufficed by the briefing document. The other things, and I just hit the high points that are included in there, is that it include plans and specifications and exhibits sufficient detail to show you what we're going to do. And included in that packet is an overview of the floor plan. I understand it's small, it's difficult to see, but I think you get an idea that the actual building floor plan and arrangement isn't changing greatly, but we'll repurposed what was then the sanctuary area will become vegetable processing area. What was the middle of the building, which is a multi-purpose area and an office, will be repurposed into farm store and CSA distribution. And the right-hand side of the building, which was at the time classrooms and a small library, will be a space for farm operations. Number 3 was the estimated cost of the proposed improvement. And when this project was first bandied about, there was a dollar figure attached to it. And as it turns out, that dollar figure was fairly low. And we've had internal discussions, and some people are like, well, why is it so much greater? And if you look at the universe, particularly the construction universe today, as opposed to when this was first conceptualized, a number of things have happened. Labor has gone up, material prices have gone up, significant uncertainty relative to the impact of tariffs for certain equipment, most notably of things like heating, ventilation, air conditioning. And then the ability to look at the project as in a holistic manner. Initially, there was much conversation about, well, we'll do it in certain phases, and that is absolutely part of the plan, but I would ask that you remove the term phrase from your verbiage, because there are opportunities to do things over here that have to be done in order to make the vegetable processing area work, in order to make the farm store work. So the desire to not do things twice. It doesn't make sense to go forward and then go backward in order to go forward. So the necessary things that are included in this proposal and the plan and the schematic that you move forward are designed to do 2 things right away. 1, create the indoor vegetable processing space in the former sanctuary to allow year-round processing of vegetables, which is not able to be done today. And then 2, create the space for the farm store to have a permanent home where they can sell the products from the farm to CSA distribution. There is a bit of timeliness with that, because due to some tremendous work by Joe Farmer and Kat and the Friends Board, there's certain grant deliverables for a grant that we've been awarded for equipment that need to be met by May 31st. And you're like, that's 6 months from now. It's realistically, in construction terms, it's about 5 minutes from now. Which is why we asked to come before you today. So in order to get those grant deliverables met and get that construction underway, we're respectfully requesting your approval as the Board of Selectmen to move forward with this project. I think I hit the schedule. And then the last piece, which I welcome, is other information as the lessor, which is you folks may reasonably require. So if there's questions about what is included in the briefing document or the quick schematic or outside drawing, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
All right. We'll start this way. Ladies?
No questions.
It's all right.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Nothing.
I'll go last.
I don't have any questions, thank you.
I see in your descriptions the work you're doing on the main building. Do your plans include any modifications to the other structure on the site? I believe it's a barn.
The barn is surprisingly, in some ways, is actually in better shape than the church, because the barn was re-sided and re-roofed in near recent times. So it's as weather tight and dry as any other tobacco barn you're going to find in the community. So right now, it's actually currently being used by farm staff to store equipment and materials. So right now, the barn itself is going to remain the way it is.
Okay.
Anything else, Mark?
No.
Thank you, John. I have a couple of just quick questions. So, will the building committee give some thought to, I don't have any preconceived notion of updating us at periodic intervals, whatever that is, once the construction starts?
I think it's only appropriate in two ways. One, because I think we're all going to be excited by progress.
Right.
To be kind of, and honestly, pictures paint a much better story than one of us speaking in an update. So I think a mechanism to be able to provide updates to show progress as things move on is very appropriate.
Yeah, so would you just work with your board, your committee,
Yeah.
and Mike to just update us when it's appropriate to do so? And then, I think I understood this, but I just want to confirm it in my own head. So if everything goes as currently planned, at some point next year, we'll have the washing station area complete and the farm store area complete. Is that,
Yes, sir.
are we pushing to get, not pushing, is our goal to have that ready by the next season, next delivery season, so June or so?
The goal is much more ambitious than that. The goal is to have that done by May 31st.
Okay. And then with respect to the exterior of the building, is it just adding like a covered area, there are no other significant changes to the exterior?
So as part of the work of the building committee, there is a separate subcommittee of the building committee that is entrusted in working on farm store only things. And some of the thought was like, okay, how do we make it look less churchish and more farm store-ish and create a good lens, both from the public driving by, the people coming to use the farm store and people that work there, and working through a number of iterations. And the current one that you see in the packet was designed to do that, to improve the entrance, because there's some changes that need to be made with the entrance doors to ensure ADA accessibility and change a couple of things there, and to improve that look. Down the road, may there be other things, but that is currently not contemplated within the scope of what we're working on today.
Okay. And just a heads up, but I imagine most of the folks on your board don't really meet, but there obviously is a group who's very sensitive to what the architectural features look like and on the exterior of the building, so I'm presuming that you're roping them in as needed.
And there's a reason why one of the things in the first paragraph was the Friends of Holcomb Farm were entrusted with the stewardship of the land and the buildings and take that seriously. I will note that one of the things that many people were mildly dissatisfied with was the previous lighted sign that was in front of the church, because quite frankly, it was a little ugly. I think if you drive by and take a look at it now, you'd like it much better.
Oh, there's a new sign? Oh, well, then we'll definitely. All right. All right. Last call for questions. Anything else, John?
No, sir.
If not, I would accept the proposed motion.
I'll propose to approve the renovation construction plans as presented by the Friends of Holcomb Farm on November 17th, 2025, for the reuse of 87 Simsbury Road.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Before we vote, I want to say what I should have said at the beginning. Great work. You guys have done an awful lot and accomplished an awful lot in a very, very short period of time. So,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. The next item on our agenda is Cider Lane Board of Selectmen sale approval and possibility of setting a town meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to talk to two specific properties, and then we'll bifurcate the two as I get deeper. So the item before you is specific to the sale of 603 Cider Lane, but I also want to talk about Freshies, because if you recall, it was some months ago that we were given permission, administration was given permission to issue a request for proposal for each of the properties, 603 Cider Lane and Freshies. For 603 Cider Lane, we set a floor based on the market, and for Freshies, we also set a floor. That RFP was had, both came back, and we were fortunate to receive $101,000 even for 603 Cider Lane, and Freshies, the top bid was $240,000. We've gone at your request and put together a purchase and sale agreement, and we have earnest money on each one of approximately 5%. Again, I'm sitting on the check and the executed purchase agreement for 603 Cider Lane. I do not have a check or a signed agreement on Freshies, but I expect that to be coming soon. The reason these are on two separate paths is the developer of 603 Cider Lane is currently in the process of erecting 10 freestanding homes there. This would be the 11th. In order for the town to sell the property, we have to go through the Board of Selectmen first to be sure you approve it. You would direct a town meeting to be held per the charter. Then you would direct this request go to the Board of Finance, and only if the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Finance, and the public at a town meeting were to approve of the sale, can the actual title be transferred. So the motion does a number of things. It recognizes the amount of the sale. It recognizes that we have a purchase and sale agreement. It needs your approval, then direct the town moderator to hold a town meeting so that we can seek final approval if in fact this parcel will be sold. Happy to take questions on either one. Freshies is probably 2 to 4 weeks behind this. Again, we need to tighten up the purchase and sale agreement. I need to receive a check, but ultimately that one should be before you in the perhaps the next meeting or the second meeting in December.
Okay.
What was the floor on Freshies again?
$225. We received a total of 3 bids, 2 at $225 from restaurant operators, 1 at $240 from a real estate, I'll call it a holding company. It's a husband and wife who does that around the area. They own several other properties. Their intent is to invest in it and then lease it out to a restaurant owner.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so sticking with the Cider Lane, does anybody have any questions about that property or the proposed action?
No.
Mike, I just have one. So I think just the order is if we take action tonight, it goes to the Board of Finance next and then a town meeting, right?
You are correct.
Okay. So I think the appropriate action is for us to send it to the Board of Finance and to direct you to schedule a town meeting as appropriate after that, right?
Correct.
Okay. I will accept the proposed motion if there are no other questions, because I think that accomplishes what we just said.
I will. I move to approve the sale by request for proposal of 603 Cider Lane in the amount of $101,000 from TFHB LLC, and further to refer the matter for consideration and approval to the Board of Finance, and if approved, direct that the town manager hold a town meeting for the purpose of seeking final approval of the sale of this parcel.
Second.
Any other further discussion? If not, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. The next item on our agenda is Harness Way acceptance, receive the planning and zoning, Connecticut General Statute 8-24 report.
Mr. Chairman, Harness Way, as you know, based on the memo from Abby Kenyon dated November 7th, is a 24-lot, single-family residential subdivision. The developer has been working on this development. Work is now complete. They are returning to us, asking us to consider acceptance of the road. P&Z has opined that this is consistent with Plan of Conservation and Development. There was one driveway apron that had not yet been sealed that has subsequently been completed. So if the board so desires, so that the town can take over the maintenance of the road before the snow flies, we ask that you consider the motion in Abby's memo at the bottom of the page.
Any questions?
Is there any work that we have to do with the water basin?
So there's 2 water basins in there. There's one, it's called Lot 13 in the back of the property that is owned by the town, and Public Works has been out there, and it is in satisfactory condition for us to take over. There's additional 2 basins on the, call it the left and the right side of Harness Way. Those, we have easements to get in there and do maintenance if we ever needed it, but the actual landscaping in front of them is the responsibility of the homeowners that abut that particular landscape. So in answer to your question, all the drainage is in satisfactory condition for the town to accept it, and the maintenance is not ours. I've actually received a handful of calls when the weeds were high, and found out through Abby that it's actually the homeowner's responsibility that abuts the property.
Thanks.
Any other questions? All right, I accept the proposed motion.
I'll move that the Board of Selectmen accept Harness Way Road associated improvements and the open space/water quality basin.
Second the motion.
Any other further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, the next item on our agenda is approval of the lead dispatcher job description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe we have Krista Schaefer, our Human Resources Director, on the line in case we have any questions. Chief Sansom would have liked to have been here. He had a family issue to tend to, and he passes along his regrets, and I told him I thought we could handle this without him. But we continue to update job descriptions, which is one of the things we promised to do as they came up. We're asking for your approval to do something that was in the contract that was approved by this board a couple of years ago, and that was to add lead dispatcher duties to an existing job description. Krista has worked closely with Chief Sansom. Both Krista's memo summarizing the changes and Chief Sansom's memo summarizing the changes are attached. This has gone first to Jane Capps, representing the union that covers the dispatchers, and it is acceptable to them. And with respect to the charter, it is this board that is the approver of job descriptions. So I'll go up to Krista to ask her if there's anything proactively you'd like to offer the board before they ask us questions. Krista, you're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can.
Okay, good. I couldn't find it, it wasn't popping up for me to unmute. No, we're just trying to be compliant with the contract, and have that job description in place, so, it's the duties that she has been conducting, for the past couple of years, at this point, or a year and a half. So it's just formalizing those duties while under her.
Any questions for Krista? Or
What was
Mike?
that?
No, I asked if anybody had any questions for you.
Just to be clear, we're not creating a new position. This is a position that will be filled by existing staff, is that right?
Exactly. The existing staff member had additional supervisory responsibilities added to this position related to the settlement of the contract. So you're correct. Not an additional position, but responsibilities unique to the position to oversee training and supervision of other dispatchers.
Thank you.
Was the pay previously adjusted, or do you have to do retroactive?
We will be doing retroactive, and that is $2 per hour going back about a year.
I'm assuming that's in the contingency?
Kimmy will find it if it's not
It's in the budget.
in the budget.
Figure. She's always on top of it.
All right, if there are no other questions, I'd accept the proposed motion.
I'll move that the Board of Selectmen approve the attached job description of the Granby Public Safety Dispatchers Union entitled Lead Dispatcher Police Department as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, the next item on the agenda is Granby Center Associates Limited Partnership Assessment Valuation Settlement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Related to revaluation, we had 2 settlements. One was Bay Grape. This is the second one. As you might feel, as you read the settlement, assigning value to any particular parcel is extremely subjective, and judges like to settle these to move the cases along. In this particular case, we're talking about 10 Hartford Road. Granby Center Associates is a retail shopping plaza. Through the revaluation process, they were assigned a value of $2,758,600 at 70% of fair market value, which is what we call the assessment. They were at $1,931,020. We have been asked by the judge to settle or reduce our $2,758,600 to $2,600,000 even. This does not please the owners, but this is the negotiated settlement, and it is only for grand list years coming up, nothing retroactive. So it's for October 1, 2025, October 1, 2026, and it is $111,020 reduction in the assessment compared to where it was. That is roughly a tax loss of $3,800 in each year, and because it's prospective, not retrospective, this is something we will build into the budget. We will be setting a new value through the next revaluation. In this particular case, the cost of the reduction is significantly less than it would be to fully litigate the case and the associated attorney's costs. So our recommendation, which also includes the recommendation from Mike Collins, who handled it on our behalf with the court system, is to approve the motion that is attached.
Any questions by the board?
Just one. I know they cited that capital improvements are needed. Do we get any sense on if they're gonna make those capital improvements, or are they trying to do it as a tax loss kind of?
So I'm aware of both the parcels, I'm aware of the owner, and I'm aware of the claim. I don't believe there's linkage between the claim of needing capital improvements and the desire to input them. So I think this will be an ongoing issue with open spaces there until it becomes cost effective for the owner to, fill them up.
It's pretty straightforward to me. The judge says settle, and you can settle for less than you would spend to ignore the judge's advice. It's a pretty easy call. Any other questions?
No.
All right, I accept the proposed motion then.
I move that the Board of Selectmen approve the settlement between Granby Center Associates LP and the town of Granby by reducing the fair market value of the real estate parcel located at 10 Hartford Road from $2,758,600 to $2,600,000, having an assessed value of 70% or $1,820,000, resulting in a decrease to the assessment of $111,020 for the grand list dates beginning on October 1, 2025 and October 1, 2026.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, the next item on the agenda is the town manager's monthly department activity report for October.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I'll take 6.1 and 6.2, the departmental activity and the project together. With respect to the departmental activities that happened for the month of October 31st, there literally is 5 pages if anybody wants to go out, and I'm certainly not going to read each line, but there's a handful of items I just want to bring to the community's attention. We have officially begun the budget process. We held meetings with various departments, and we are working toward a +1 budget for the December 1st Board of Selectmen meeting. The $4.6 million radio communication project continues to move along, and there is a Board of Selectmen presentation scheduled at the second meeting in December, and Chief Orr will be here from the Lost Acres Fire Department, former Chief Orr, currently of the Lost Acres Fire Department. I want to shout out to Betsy Mazzata and Jen Espinal. on their excellent work coordinating the 11/17, 6 p.m. elected official ceremony. They've also been tremendous help on the tree lighting program, which I'll talk about a little bit later, an employee holiday lunch, and then the supervisor's team building function. Although it's a small item, to me it's a pretty big deal. Kevin Clark, the town engineer, has assembled a driveway apron standard. And Kevin Sline, our newer Public Works Supervisor with respect to roads, is now implementing that standard. So there will be a solid driveway apron program for new paving moving forward. And we had an opportunity to try that out on Peterson Road recently, so that's great news. Human Resources, Krista coordinated and participated in an informational meeting with representatives from Lockton and Anthem. We had a number of questions from employees on the high deductible health plan coverage and how to use the associated health savings account. With respect to Kimmy, the tax office and the assessor's office, she has already received the comprehensive annual financial report, and I think there's a new name for it, Kimmy, but I still use the old one, the town audit. The presentation went before the Board of Finance at their last meeting, and as you might expect, all the financial indicators were solid, and the audit report had a solid opinion. Kimmy and Betsy were working on uploading budget files to ClearGov so that the fiscal 27 budget presentation can begin. Kendra, who is our new tax collector, as Lauren Stuck phases out, she completed her Class 2 for the CCM certification, and as expected, she scored very well. Finally, just to let you know, Sue out of the assessor's office has reclassified the property that is currently the site of the broadleaf, and we are now no longer treating that as farmland, and a tax bill went out. Community development, Abby reminds us that the Plan of Conservation and Development continues to hold public meetings. The Granby Center Advisory Committee is also holding a public presentation later this month. I believe, Mark, that's still November 19th, unless it's changed?
No, that has been changed to December 11th.
December 11th. A 7-lot subdivision was approved at 188 Day Street. Moving on, for the police department, we've had 2 officers that have been out on injury leave, but they have returned to full active duty. We have a new part-time dispatcher finishing training. Officers attended retired Sergeant Castle's memorial service last month. National Drug Take-Back Day at the police department was held. We collected approximately 70 pounds, and we turned that over to DEA. With respect to if anybody in the interim has the ability or has the need to dispose of drugs, there is a freestanding receptacle at the Simsbury Police Department's location. If anybody asks why doesn't Granby have one, the answer is we could, but there are significant regulations that the DEA would have to certify us in. Not something we're afraid of, but it would also take time because we would have to drive any drugs we collect periodically. We would treat them as evidence, drive them down to the burn plant in Bridgeport, and that would take about 4 to 8 hours of an officer's time, probably on time and a half. So it's about a $2,000 annual charge. So again, if we can do it twice a year under the auspices of the DEA and use the Simsbury location, we can save ourselves a little bit of paperwork headache and time. But if the community demands it, it's certainly something that we can do. Recruit James Wilkins is in his last phase at the Hartford Police Academy. He has a tentative graduation date of December 5th, and then he'll be brought in and be assigned to a partner who will ride with him as they do field training. Public Works, a blacktop pad was installed to the rear of the main building at Holcomb Farm for better access. The road overlay program is complete with only backfilling curbs remaining. I think since the production of this report, those are completely done. 18 horse crossing signs are being installed. So a shout out to Stuart Young, our supervisor, for handling that. Last few things with respect to, we are reviewing options for the capital improvement investment in the sewer pumping stations, and there are 2 of them, and I'll talk about that more in detail at the CPAC meeting. With respect to human services, youth services, parks and recreation, senior and social services, They held travel excursions to Mohegan Sun and a jack-o'-lantern spectacular in Rhode Island. Social services handled 2 extremely complex cases involving seniors that struggled to care for themselves, and both of those ended up before the probate court for conservatorships. Youth services, we had onboarding of a replacement youth therapist who will assist with alleviating the current backload. Parks and Recreation, pond dredging, and the bandshell ramp installation. The bandshell ramp installation is virtually done. I took a walk on it yesterday. It looks great. And the pond dredging is supposed to start on Wednesday before it gets really cold and we ice up. Finally, the Register of Voters, as of midday Monday, and this is old, they are halfway through the 14-day early voting, and that was accomplished on November 4th. And as we said, we swore everybody in tonight. Finally, Jen Espinal, the town clerk, completed all statutory requirements for the upcoming municipal elections. She fully rolled out the notary services program, offering dedicated service hours. Excuse me, and she began testing the online credit card payment function, moving toward implementation. With respect to projects, Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the community, I just wanted to say a thank you to Jen and Betsy again for their work tonight and on the other projects. On 12/6, everyone here is invited at 4:30, that's a Saturday, to a tree lighting. 5 p.m., we will move inside to the senior center. We should have a guest from the North Pole. We're going to be serving cookies and hot chocolate. There'll be some storytelling by that guy from the North Pole. There'll be some ornament decorating and perhaps even some letter writing to Santa. There is a live nativity at Salmon Brook Park on the same day, and as I mentioned, the ramp is nearly complete, so that's great news. Pond dredging, again, starts on Wednesday. Holiday Town Hall lunch, you're all invited. Again, that is December 17th from noon to 1:30. And as we approach Thanksgiving, Town Hall will be closed at 2 p.m. to allow the families to get home and do their thing in advance of Thanksgiving. So if I don't see everybody, happy Thanksgiving to everybody on the board and the community.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions or comments? I have a couple. Nobody else has any. We already mentioned that the Town Center Advisory Committee was going to meet to accept the final report and to make the recommendations outward. That has been changed to December 11th. We had to change it to accommodate the consultant's schedule. There were some conflicts. I promised you I would ask this publicly. There's, in the report, we're talking about trying to find replacements for fax lines. Why in today's day and age do we still need fax lines?
So the answer to that is Kirk is attempting to move our alarm system lines over to cell phones. And additionally, there are certain things, predominantly in the police department, that require a dedicated fax for certain police reports in a number of different things. So these are lines we currently have with Frontier. There are about 4 of them, and we're looking at, John and Frank and Tristan are looking at options to marry with Kirk. So if we need to, we will still roll those over, and if we can get away from them, we will.
Okay.
But it has everything to do with, we had hard lines at the police station to serve certain reporting needs at the station.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate your thank you to Stu and Public Works and the Horse Council on the horse crossing signs. That's again another example of something I think we're doing a lot better job of is coordinating when we have groups like the Horse Council and our team. And I know Stu and his team spent a fair amount of time driving around with Crystal and other members of the Horse Council,
Yep.
actually working together to identify where those signs should go. So that's just a great job. Appreciate that. And then the last question I have is, or just a thought actually, Jen, now that you're comfortable with the notary service program, can we do a push out to the public? I get asked this question a lot, is exactly when are the hours and what are the requirements? So can we summarize those in like a Facebook post and an email notification that we can push out again?
Sure, you can certainly send it up.
Okay,
It is on the website as well.
okay. All right. It'd be great to do one more push out and even link it to create a link to the website. Okay, nothing else on those
Nope,
reports?
just the financials, and Kimmy is here in person today to deliver those.
So for the October 2025 financial report, on the revenue side, the tax collections is very consistent with last year at 57% collected. And however, the stiff rate has been continued to decrease. It's about 0.18% decrease than the prior month. Right now, it's stands at 4%. We also received the 25% of the total budget amount for the ECS grant. And we received 100% of the tier pilots grant from the OPM. On the expenditure side, the total percentage is also very similar to the last year, 49% versus the 48%. The Public Works Department overtime is about 2,000 more than the last year. But mainly it's because of the new supervisor. They taking additional hours for their new supervisory positions. And for the police department overtime, it's pretty much the same reason as I reported in last month. And also remind that the October payroll, we have 3 payroll instead of 2 payroll. And I'm working closely with the police chief and captain to monitor the police department overtime. Hopefully, some of it will be covered by the one vacancy position in the police department that we haven't filled, which they are in the process of hiring. And with the new officer currently going through the academy, which will be finished in December, that will be a saving of 10 overtime per payroll. So we will watch closely for the overtime hour from the PD. And I'm here to take any questions.
Any questions for Kitty? Okay, we'll move on to the first selectman report. I have a couple of things that are in no particular order. The first is I want to ask everybody to keep Betsy Mazzata and her family in your thoughts and prayers. They lost Betsy's mother-in-law recently, so she's doing well, but keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The second is I want to thank my friend Kelly for her service on this board and her service on the Board of Finance and the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to that. It's no secret to everybody that Kelly's a great friend of mine and has been a very great mentor and advisor to me and a great dedicated servant to our town. We're going to miss you. And you better be prepared to come back in January because we're going to do something formal for you in January. You're coming back. We're going to do something for you.
I'll probably be on the road.
We'll pick a date.
We will find you wherever you are.
If you see Kelly out in the community or pay attention when we have her back for a more formal presentation, probably in January, please attend. I mean that. The second is I think the word's gotten out pretty good. I just want to say again, thank you to the entire community for the work that we did on the proposed battery project. That was a true testament to what our community can do when we work together. Many, many, many people contributed to that, too many to name, but a lot of folks in our town worked hard to get that done. It's a good result for our community. I also want to thank Mike and Kirk and the Public Works team and Mike Fusick. Mike, if you don't know, Mike Fusick is a resident in our town who has a fair amount of experience with sewer systems and sewer pump stations, and he dedicated his own time, actually took time off of work to go with myself and Mike and Kurt to review our, we really have 3 pump stations, but one is brand new, the one at Salmon Brook. We reviewed all 3, just to get another pair of eyes on looking at what we might do when we upgrade those 2 sewer pump stations. So that's a tribute to everybody involved, that both Mike Fusick and our internal team is willing to work together to do stuff like it. You would not see that in every town. So I'm grateful that we're doing those kind of things. I also want to thank our Historical Society. You will soon see that they have purchased and are going to install 2 markers at either end of the historic district in the center of town to let people know that they're entering the historic district. So kudos again to Mike and Public Works for getting right on that and approving the locations. So at the Historical Society's Costburger, you'll see some signs, hopefully weather permits, in the next week or so. Finally, I do want to personally thank Jen. You did a great job with the swearing-in ceremony. So everybody unanimously said what a great idea that was, except for my couple of flub-ups who went pretty well. So thank you. And I do expect to see everybody at the tree lighting ceremony. We cannot break our records. Every year, we've gotten it better and more people attended. So we got to keep that streak alive this year. So put that on your calendars. That's all I have. We'll go, Mark, you gave your report. Anything else?
No, I'll just reiterate my statement that our next meeting of the Granby America 250 Committee is Thursday night, this week.
Where are they? Where are they at?
We're meeting at the Social Services Building, one of the meeting rooms there.
Okay. All right. Peggy?
I did attend the Plan of Conservation and Development workshop last week and was very impressed. It was very well attended and very interactive. And I wanted to remind the public that there will be a survey giving people an opportunity to further comment on the plan, the proposed plan. I also wanted to commend the registrars of voters for the Election Day activities and all the volunteers. Election Day went extremely well and smoothly as far as I can tell. And finally, I want to commend the Granby Middle School field hockey team for a undefeated season. Field hockey is alive and well in Granby, and the future is bright. I don't want to steal your...
It's too late, you stole their thunder.
They're high school. I don't want to leave the middle school out.
Oh, I didn't know. So the middle school.
The middle
School was undefeated.
I didn't say high school, did I?
No, you said
middle
middle school.
school.
You said middle school. I got it. Okay. Excellent. Anything else?
No.
Kelly?
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody. It was a pleasure working with you all, and hope we continue to work together as a team like we have. I think it does, the right thing for the town by working as a team and kind of looking at our constituents and putting them first. So thank you guys for everything.
Yeah, I was just going to echo Mark's comments about Kelly, because I had the pleasure to serve on the Board of Finance with Kelly, and she would sometimes help me understand Mike Warco a little bit, so that was very helpful, and it's been a pleasure.
How come you never offered to do that for me? All right. Ladies?
So, I was first going to start with how last week marked the end of all of our fall sports seasons besides football. They all made it to states, and field hockey, our girls field hockey team, they made it all the way to the championship. They played on Saturday. They made second in states against Immaculate High. And then our football game also had their last home game, senior night, on Friday, and they also won that. On a more academic note, on Wednesday, the World Language Societies, including French Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and Chinese Honor Society, had their induction ceremony all together to induct all the new members, which includes a bunch of juniors and seniors. Thursday, November 20th this week, French students specifically will be going to Yukon to compete in the Quiz Bowl, which is a big French trivia contest. The National Honor Society raised $951 this year for the Connecticut Food Share during our traditional turkey trot last Thursday, which if you don't know what it is, NHS members run around for, 30 seconds during our advisory just to collect money. And it was really fun, and considering that we collected almost $1,000 in that amount of time, it's incredible. And then today marked the first day of rehearsals for the NCCC Band and Choir Festival. And it was a very long day. It was a 6.5-hour rehearsal, and we'll be having our last rehearsal on Wednesday, as well as a concert at 6 p.m. If any of you guys would like to come and help support.
When was the concert again?
The concert is, I believe, at 6 p.m. But I can send you an email on the time and location details.
Would you do that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else? Any questions? All right, the next item on our agenda is our public session. We can start in the room. Anybody here? Does have anything you want to share? All right. Anybody on Zoom?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Maureen.
First of all, I'd like to personally thank Kelly for all her time and services on the various boards that she has served. She was most approachable, she was open to suggestions, and truly represents someone who's dedicated to the caring of our town. Secondly, I have some concerns about the ongoing requests from businesses and developers for lowering their tax assessments. In my opinion, it may set a precedence for other developers coming in and wishing to follow suit with them. So it is a concern because, as you know, that loss of revenue will eventually fall upon the taxpayers to pick it up. Also, there's been a lot of talk at this board meeting and in other circles that I am in about ensuring that something be done for a tax relief for the elderly. I'd like to call it equity for elderly, but I think it's something that I think bears, discussion. And I, would eventually ask for your support on any initiatives that come forward in that area. I'm losing my voice. So with that, I'll say thank you, Kelly, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you, Maureen. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, I will close the public session. We don't have any need for a executive session, right?
We do not.
All right, I will wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and accept a motion for to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, good night, everyone. Thank you.